Kia ora, ko Katie Tompkins, toka whenua. I also have Misha Palmer with me as well. You will likely be aware of the significant media coverage on literacy in Aotearoa. Literacy levels in New Zealand have been on the decline for many years, and New Zealand's current literacy status has been described as profoundly worrying. At the same time, the critical importance of literacy is growing. Research has demonstrated a significant relationship between literacy and a vast range of life outcomes. And the result has been the release of the new Literacy and Communication Strategy released by the Ministry of Education and changes to the NCA literacy requirements, the new co-requisites. We have tracked our incoming start of year 9 literacy data for the last 8 years and are seeing a similar trend here at Wakatipu High School. Several literacy support developments have occurred here at Wakatipu High School over the last few years in response to this growing issue. We now have a model for literacy support at Wakatipu High School to provide a pathway for students who present with literacy difficulties, and I've spoken about this in previous webinars. In this video, we're going to talk about one of the latest developments and how you can support your child at home. Wakatipu High School has made a significant investment and recently decided to provide all junior students access to a digital reading platform known as Reading Plus for the year as part of its arsenal for attacking this issue. The exception to this is any student who has been identified as needing support to develop word recognition, word identification skills. They will have access to an alternate digital learning platform, Power Up, better suited to their needs. Getting teenagers, which I'm sure you can appreciate, to read more has always been challenging, particularly if they struggle to do so. But today there's an increasing competition for students' attention at school and at home. Reading independently is ultimately how students read in exams, at university, and in their adult lives. So it is essential to give them lots of practice in doing so. At the same time, there are limitations to reading independently, particularly if children struggle to do so. Most significantly, there is very little accountability for readers when they are reading independently. When students read independently, it's hard to be entirely sure whether they're actually reading or if they are reading is at the right level for them, or whether they are practicing effective habits or inscribing poor ones. Practice doesn't make perfect, practice makes permanent. It's perfect practice that makes perfect. Unfortunately, the students reading the least are often the ones who need to read the most. Some flip idly through the pages, gazing at pictures, while others read lazily or poorly, practicing and reinscribing weak habits as they go. Reading Plus addresses the limitations of independent reading as it is designed for greater accountability. It gives us information about the quality and skill of the reading students do. Reading Plus ensures our students log as many high-quality miles as possible. It involves students in reading texts at the right level independently and allows us to assess whether reading is actually happening and the gains, hopefully, that are being made. Reading Plus improves fluency, vocabulary, and comprehension for those that actively engage in it, and so important for those that actively engage in it. The key is preparing students to read on their own productively, accountably, and efficiently. And the goal is to make a habit of reading independently, confidently, and reading well. It is important to note that it works as an intervention, and it also extends our more able readers so they're able to access more complex text. I'm going to hand over to Misha now, who's going to talk more about the logistical stuff.
Kia ora. Last week, all students completed a placement test on Reading Plus, which provides them with their personal pathway suited to their literacy needs. This pathway involves a tailored amount of weekly assignments that each student is required to complete in order to make necessary gains. And as each student is at a different reading level, and Reading Plus recognises this, your child will have an individualised instructional time that may be different to their peers. Although this may seem unfair, each student is advised to be at a certain point of readiness to pass the newly introduced literacy reading co-requisite. And so therefore, some may need to work harder than others to get to the same point by the time they sit this exam. It is up to your child to ensure they are engaged and meeting these instructional times, but we can help to motivate them and allow them to understand why their time requirements may be different to their peers. Reading Plus assignments are split into 3 categories: reading, the category which needs to be prioritised and focuses on reading comprehension and reading fluency. Vocabulary, which builds your child's printed word banks. These are words that can be accessed effortlessly and automatically, keeping in mind that a student needs to acquire approximately 80,000 words to access university level texts. And then lastly, there's visual skills, which helps to develop skills for reading efficiency and is available for developing and struggling readers. Within the reading category, students are able to choose from a wide range of texts at their reading level. As students climb the reading levels, new texts will become available. They can do this by earning combos, which are awarded when students gain more than 80% in 2 comprehension tasks in a row. The comprehension questions will increase in depth and breadth of complexity as students demonstrate mastery with key skills. A guided window is used during reading assignments, providing a reading experience that models efficient silent reading. The guided window will help to gradually increase comprehension-based silent reading rates. The rate adjusts dynamically as students achieve good comprehension and will gradually be removed as your child increases their ability to comprehend texts at a more productive rate. Kids also sometimes skip words and even sentences. So this helps to prevent this, as well as minimizing reading fatigue. In the vocabulary category, your child will be able to recognize and assign meaning to a word. They will be assessed on their knowledge of words in context, master new vocabulary, and demonstrate knowledge of word meaning by completing sentences with target words. Your child is expected to complete assignments during ACL time and possibly in other subjects if their subject teacher has given them dedicated time for this. It is also likely that to meet their time requirements, they are expected to complete some at home for homework. Students need to be prioritising the reading assignments and then complete the vocabulary assignments second.
If your child is struggling to remember how to access Reading Plus, first they need to go to student.readingplus.com, student.readingplus.com. They then need to enter the site code, which is Wakatipu 8S, lowercase, followed by their login details. For most, the username will be the beginning of their email, so 22 or 23, and then the first letter of their first name, and then their last name, no capitals and no spaces. And their password will be their first name with a capital letter. If your child is a Year 10 student that used the program last year, their login details may be slightly different. If they've forgotten what they are or haven't saved them to their computer, please ask them to get in contact with their kaiarahi, who has access to their ACL group's login details. Once your child has logged into Reading Plus, they will be presented with their student dashboard. It is a good idea to review the dashboard with your child once or twice a week to ensure that they are on track. Your child can click on the Lessons tab to access the number of assignments they have for the week. The blank checkboxes on the right of the screen next to each category show the assignments to be completed, and the coloured checkboxes show completed assignments. For reading, green shows your child earn 80% or more in their comprehension task, which of course is the outcome of reading, meaning for text. 70 to 79% is shown by a yellow box, and orange represents a score less than 70%. So ideally, your child should be aiming to achieve green checkboxes. You can also access more detailed lesson by lesson data by clicking on the green SR bar in the total assignment completion section.
Lastly, to see your child's achievements and level progress, click View on the menu on the left side of the screen. You can see here if they've earned combos to progress to the next level in reading. So that's it from me. I wish your child all the luck in their literacy journey, and I'm sure many of you are wondering how you can support your child at home with Reading Plus. So Katie is going to give you some ideas.
So how can you support your child at home? Well, it takes a village, as we know, to raise a child, or it takes, in this case, a village to support our students to make the gains that we need them to in terms of their reading. So we need you to be with us on this journey. So what can you do? Well, you can talk to your child about the Reading Plus or the Power Up, so they are aware that you are aware, and encourage them to complete their weekly assignments. Sit beside them. Support them to develop a routine for completing their reading assignments. Set up a schedule at home and provide a quiet environment for them to do so they can focus on what they are reading. Check your child's dashboard regularly to view his or her progress towards individualized goals. Work with us. Takes a village to raise a child. Your child's kaiarahi and other key staff to grow your child as a reader. Celebrate your child's successes. We have a awards program that Misha's spent an incredible amount of time developing here at school, and celebrate that at home as well in terms of the effort that they are putting into growing their reading ability. So this is just one of our strategies. We have a whole literacy strategy amongst other things, and a huge amount of time and investment and resource is going in at our end, and we really look forward to seeing all of our junior students make significant gains by engaging with this very useful tool. Thank you.
Thank you.